Hey, what's going on? It's your boy CJ back with another video. I was scrolling on LinkedIn earlier today, and I was just going through like the pages of some of my favorite like mentors or like industry leaders that I look up to or try to gain information from or try to learn from. And I came to a realization that really inspired me to make this video. I want to talk about the importance of your brand. Branding is something that's so important and it's not truly taught the way that it should be taught in the world. But the way that you position yourself in the world, the things you put out, what is your brand? What does your brand say about you? What does your brand project out to the world at large? You know, and I think it's very important that we start like having these type of conversations and discussions about brand, because brand is the way in which you put yourself out to the world. It's the way that you present yourself in all phases of life. Brand isn't just a professional outlook, but it's also like personal, and the way you carry yourself, the way that you conduct yourself, the things that you put out into the universe. It's very important to make sure you're building a good brand, um, because whatever your brand is currently, whether it's a good brand, a not so good brand, a great brand, a negative brand, the brand that you have out in the world is something that you can always try to work on. It's always something that you can improve upon. You know, uh, Branding is something that can be contrary to popular belief. There are a lot of schools of thoughts out there that believe that once a brand is tarnished, uh, it's not really like the same as it was before, and that's true to some extent. Like there is a little fact in that, but I think overall, as an individual, there are ways you can rebuild your brand. There are things that you can do if you slip and fall off. Get back on track and grow your brand uh, bigger and better. Like we see it in we see it in media all the time. Like you see athletes kind of go through criminal problems and then they come back and they dominate their like field of play or their particular sport. And while some people may remember them or hold that dark cloud over them, a lot of people are able to bounce back from that. You saw it in politics with Bill Clinton, how he was able to come back and have a reputable career after the Monica Lewinsky thing. Ray Lewis, I think, he had a murder trial back in the early 2000s for the Baltimore Ravens and came back and won a Super Bowl and, ended up being a Hall of Famer and like one of the best to ever do it. Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. Like he had a situation back in '04, I think, in Colorado and came back and won like more championships and continue to build upon like his legacy. Those are like absolute like extremes, by the way, but you in your everyday life, every day you wake up, you're building a brand. Everything you project out, everything you put out, everything that you send out into the ethers with your name on it, with your face attached, you're building a brand, you know. And the beauty of like today's time, like with technology and social media, and there's so many different algorithms you have that will facilitate you in building your brand and growing yourself and putting yourself in front of like more eyeballs. And I just really wanted to make this video so you guys and girls can be encouraged to always try to work on your brand. Always try to work on your presentation, you know. Because if I don't know you, right, if I'm from the outside looking in and I see your LinkedIn profile, like say you add me on LinkedIn or say I add you on LinkedIn, when you go to my profile, that's my brand. When you look at my LinkedIn profile, if we're speaking solely on the business site, like LinkedIn, my profile that's my brand, right? So, the resume is listed, the things you've done, projects you're currently working on, the content that you share or create. I'm a content creator, so I do a little bit of both. I share other people's content, but I post my own content as well. So it's a little bit of a mix, but your your brand is being built every single day. There's not a day that passes in this world where you're not adding to your brand or taking away from your brand. Um, and that's just done through actions. That's done through consistency or lack thereof. Um, but just think about it. Like, think about it. I don't want this to be too long of an episode, but just think about, like, personally, what does your brand say first? This is a two-part. First, what does your brand say about you? If you were someone from the outside looking in, if you were applying for like an opportunity and your resume came across your desk, what would that say about you, right? One. And then two, what do you want your brand to look like if it's not where you want it to be? If your brand could improve, if your brand and to be honest, all of our brands can improve. There's not a person on this planet whose brand is just pristine and it's without flaw or there's no blemishes. We all have them, right? But just hypothetically speaking, if there's glaring things about your brand that needs to be improved on, things that need to be polished, things that need to be brushed up on, right? Because you want to get to the point to where your brand can speak for you without you having to say anything. Like, you want to be kind of like, you look at the companies and the people who are known like on a first name basis or like a one name basis. You never have to say Winfrey when you say Oprah. You never have to say cola when you say Coke. You never have to say certain things like when you say Seinfeld, like in comedy, they know what you're talking about. You don't have to say his whole name. Uh, you know, Bezos, Elon, guys who are like movers and shakers, like Kanye. You don't have to say the whole thing. You want your brand to be, at a point to where it represents you in a good way, right? Because your brand is going to represent you either way, but you want your brand to be able to create opportunities for you. Like when you get into some of the cusp of like social media and like, content creation and things like that, branding is important because it enables you to, create opportunities for yourself and enter partnerships and do deals. That's a different conversation for a different day. I don't want to like blend too many things in. But yeah, I want you guys to really think about what is your brand and what does your brand say about you? Good, bad, indifferent. And then how do you want your brand to look a year from now, 6 months from now? And start thinking about things you can do today to make your brand what you want it to be. That's all I got, man. As always, it's CJ. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm out. Peace.